So what I'm going to start with today is just a customer journey. We'll start with the COS Business Engine marketplace and an open access environment. The customer can go through, order a service, kind of show what that looks like, and then we'll jump into a side-by-side what happens when we're installing that ONT at that customer's address and how that looks in SMX at the same time and getting that service provisioned. So here in the marketplace, we'll start off. I've searched an address already. Depending on what address you search, you can get a survey or a pre-sign up for just the drop, or like this one, I can show my services, and I can get a list of services from all the different service providers on the network. So I can go through, I can filter, I can show more information on the different services. I can read more and go through the order flow, look at the broadband label, etc. Right? This specific service I've already ordered. So what I'm going to do, and just to add all this information, this different service providers have their own login in the back end, and they update their pricing. They can see their wholesale fees and all that information. But now we'll jump into the customer's My Pages and kind of show, okay, this customer has ordered a service at this location. You can see it's awaiting activation. They have a fiber drop and installation task assigned. They can follow that when it's scheduled, etc. And they can also see, this specific customer has an active service at another location and a terminated one at another location. So if they had any signups or surveys, that information would be shown here as well. But they can also submit a support ticket. They can see disruption notifications and that sort of thing as well. See if their ONT is online and reachable or not. So a few nice features for the customer to see. But now I'm going to jump through on the back end and show what the process of getting this drop actually down and that ONT installed. So let's jump out and we'll minimize this for now. I'll put it right here. So right now what we have is I'll expand it a little. We have Calix SMx on the right side here and COS Business Engine admin on the left side. And I'm logged in as a operator login right now. And this is what an operator sees. So all the information from all the different networks, our customers online, network connection status, not some nice statistics there for them to check out. But for right now, I'm going to jump into a customer location, the one that we had right there on the marketplace that we were looking at, and kind of see what it looks like to install this customer. So you can see that there's an active work order in place. This specific service, for it to be activated, we'll jump into the actual order. So now we're on the service location. So we'll jump into that order. But in order for this to be activated, it requires an ONT, connection required, as well as a deliverable object. And we'll go through what that process looks like. So there's already an active work order. So we'll jump out directly in that work order and see how it looks. And if I look over here in Calix SMx, go under subscribers, this location is not yet there. There's no ONT assigned, but once that ONT is assigned to this location, then it'll pop up in Calix SMx as well. We'll look for that 965 location around here. So let's jump out. And so now I'm in the installer portal, and I've assigned this task today, or this work order, to one specific installer. So he gets all the tasks. Otherwise, I could assign different tasks to different users, different third-party contractors, and they'll be able to do those different tasks, get automatic notifications when the previous task complete, and that sort of thing. Let's click into this one. I'm already delayed, it looks like. But I can see some general information about this specific customer, where we're doing the installation. So I'm a little far away from where I'm doing that installation right now. So I'm sitting up here, and this is where we're doing the install. If there's any other integrations, I can fetch those attributes from those integrations like Fetro, etc. And we'll see the network items pop up here in a little from Calix SMx once that ONT is assigned to this location. So those diagnostics we'll be able to see. So let's go through and go ahead and look at the different steps in the process. So we have the drop design here. You can see, go ahead and proceed in the different step. But in this case, every step is assigned to the same user. In most cases, it'll be different users doing the design versus installation and that sort of thing. So we'll see what this process looks like. And all these processes, you can have it on a templatized format, and your text, messaging, of course, and you can have different things required or not. So required to add a picture, note, and file, that sort of thing. Create warnings, etc. We'll jump through these and get more to the ONT step. But I can initiate this task. I can add a picture, a warning if I wanted to, for quality control. But I've installed the drop. Go ahead and proceed. And now I'm going to install the ONT here. So I can click initiate work. And essentially, when I install this ONT, I can go ahead and scan the QR code. And what happens there is I'll take my Calix ONT here, big QR code right there, and it scans QR code, or I can enter it manually, of course. Once I've installed this ONT, click proceed, then it's actually going to create the subscriber over in SMx. I can jump back to the work order itself here. So go ahead and click that. And now you actually see that the technical information from that integration popped up there. So I can see and fetch the live diagnostic information from Calix SMx about that ONT if there's anything available, right? So here I can see the which ONT model, if there's any alarms, the subscriber, so you can see that's been created. I think I just have to refresh it over here in Calix, or maybe it's on actually next page. Let me go ahead and find it. 965 it was, right? There we go. So now you can see it right there, 965. And you can see that there's no active service on it yet because I haven't completed the work order and actually tried to push that template, that service over, right? So here I can see if there's any alarms, etc. But right now we'll hide that again. And we'll actually go ahead and let's go through and finish this step here and get that service provisioned. So I'll go ahead and I'll open up the subscriber so we can follow that process in SMx at the same time when the service gets placed. So we'll go ahead and initiate the work for this last step. And depending on the different task types, they can do different things in the system and document different things, etc. So this specific task right here could have a lot of different information, but what we're doing here is we're saying once we're done with this, then it's sending the provisioning parameters to Calix, which service to provision essentially. I click proceed. And now the provisioning process will start. And then if I'm out in the field, I can go ahead and connect to that service after it's provisioned, complete a speed test so that we kind of save that baseline. What did this customer look like when we installed it? We called the object birth certificate for that service location. We save the light levels at that time, that sort of thing. So I'll show you what that looks like back in the admin. So while this is waiting to get provisioned, we'll jump back into the order in Business Engine. Go ahead and refresh this and see what's happening here. But now we can see it's awaiting activation. But you can see the ONT is now on this location. So here's the ONT that we scanned right there. I can view the diagnostic information. Right now it's provisioning, so it's not going to be there. It'll just show exactly what we showed on the installer portal there, so services. But while we're waiting for that to go ahead and provision, it'll pop up in Calix. We'll show a couple different functionalities that we have in the provision dashboard, for instance, while we're waiting for that. And here you can see, network contract errors, if there's any mismatch, maybe someone provisioned something manually out in the field that might show a mismatch versus what it looks like in our system. So now you can see it's actually provisioning's done, but I can show you a couple more things here. Network elements tree, you can see here Calix SMx, what's online, offline on each port. Nothing's offline right now, but otherwise you would see some red there as well. But we'll jump back into the order itself and go ahead and refresh this here. Now we'll be able to see that that is actually active, online, provisioned. I can click on diagnostics and see what's going on there, if there's any alarms. But now you can actually see that the service has been provisioned and that those match up both in SMx and in Business Engine. Otherwise, some other things you can do is you could reboot the ONT directly from here, which is very nice for service providers in an open access environment. They can go into Business Engine here and do the general diagnostics and troubleshooting, reboot the ONT, first line support sort of things if they're talking to a customer, see that everything's up, there's no alarms. So if I go ahead and reboot that ONT, if I actually check on that diagnostics now, go ahead and refresh it again, you'll actually see that that ONT is no longer online since it is rebooting. Otherwise, we'll jump into the ONT itself and just show a couple additional things. As I was mentioning, diagnostic history. So here I can see I've used this ONT a couple other times, so it has a little more history, but I can see every time that an order is activated or an installation happens or a ticket submitted, we save those light levels at those times so that you have that record. You can troubleshoot over time and see the health of that location essentially. Otherwise, I think the downtime, you can see how long an ONT has been online, offline. So even if there's a power outage, you can kind of see, when it went on and off, etc., or if there's any other issues. So good for troubleshooting for the operator and service providers there. That's a little overview of what I have today, unless Bjorn or Mats, if you have anything else to add. But that's a brief overview of our integration. Definitely have some more details, but then you can always, of course, contact any of us, and we're happy to do a more in-depth demo for you all.